Why would I get plugs from Hoss if I'm raising my own? Well, I'll tell you that in just a second. Well, it's Saturday. I believe it's the 16th, and these shipped on Monday. So 5 days in the mail and the post. And these are the Hoss plugs that they're 10 Hossinator plugs, 10 red snapper plugs. I kind of want to see two things. I want to see how well they shipped. I don't know. I don't ship live plants and things. Sometimes I've had bad success with them. Sometimes, most of the time, good success if they really know what they're doing. But so far, they look good. I want to see how well they handle the shipping, the process, the week or the 5 or 6 days, as well as see the size of them, because mine look good. I've raised some of these, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But mine look good, and I want to see if these look any better than mine do. Let me scoot this out of the way. These are the Hossinator. Now they're all jumbled together, but as you know, once you put a tomato in the ground, it's going to straighten up. It's going to, like my daddy used to say, straighten up and fly right. They really look good. They look as good as mine. Of course, mine are growing upright and not in a package. But those are 8 inches tall, 9, something like that. Really look nice. Hossinator tomatoes. I assume the red snapper. I'm gonna make sure I put the tag, Hossinator tag, with them. And the red snapper, I'm sure, will look the same. And then I'm gonna come over here and show you mine and tell you why I got plugs from Hoss. Why would I get plugs from Hoss if I'm raising my own? Well, I'll tell you that in just a second. These are red snappers, which I really like. I like both of them. That's all I'm growing this year, except for one cherry tomato, is red snapper and Hossinators, because I just really, really like them. They're a little dirty, of course, getting shuffled around with the post office and stuff. Just may want to rinse that dirt off before you put them in a pot or ground if you're going to up pot. These are not ready. We got a little cold weather coming, so I've got to put these in pots and not in. I can't put these in the ground yet. So these are going to go in pots under some grow lights, and they'll be good for that. Now let's go look at my tomatoes and see how they fare. I grew my tomatoes from Hoss seed, started about the middle of February. Okay, so here are my tomatoes. Most of mine look about the same, about 8 inches tall, like that one. Some, like this one back here, that's about, I would say 10 or 11 inches tall. Same back here. I don't know whether the outside may be getting a little more light, a little less crowded, obviously, because of some of the ones on the inside are a little more crowded, a little less height on them. Nice stem, big fat stem on them, which is what you want to see. If I'm growing this many tomatoes and I'm not going to plant that many tomatoes, why in the world would I get tomatoes from Hoss? Well, first of all, I just wanted to show you how well their plugs look, and to me they look great. And also, at the time I started thinking tomatoes, Hoss did not have these on their website because they weren't ready to ship. They were not going to be ready to ship till 1st of March. And I just didn't want to take a chance that they got sold out, that something happened. Maybe their source had a hard freeze, killed them all. I just didn't want to take that chance. I didn't want to have to go to the store and buy tomatoes that I'm really not familiar with, or not my favorite tomatoes. The Hossinator and the red snapper are my favorite tomatoes now. And I've also got a Sun Gold in here, a cherry tomato. So that's all I'm raising as far as tomatoes go. Those are peppers. Those are going to be probably the habanero, the heatless habanero peppers, because they're real slow. I remember last year they were so much slower than the rest of the plant, so I probably should get them maybe to an outside lane here to give them a little bit more light, because they're getting a little overshadowed. But the rest of the peppers look good. Peppers back there, 6, 8 inches tall. Hoss has plugs on tomatoes as well as pepper plugs. And if you were late, if you didn't start, if you want to get something going, looks like those plugs going to be your best bet. Depends on where you live, of course. If you're up north, it's probably just now time to start yours. But if you're in the south, you want to get some tomatoes in the ground probably in the next week or two, probably around Easter or so, or even before. We got a cold spell coming, like I said. I can't put these out quite yet, but I bet you within the next 2 weeks they will go in my containers, my earth boxes. So really look good. And again, the reason I got the Hoss plugs was to show you. I wanted you to see what they look like in case you're interested in some. But I also got them for insurance, for myself, for insurance, because I wanted to, I just didn't want to take a chance on them not having plugs available when I needed plugs. So I got their plugs. I also got their plants from seed, and everything looks so good. Watermelons are behind me. I'll show you those right now. I've got these under a different grow light. These are a red and blue grow light that I've had for years. The white light behind me that I had those tomatoes under is a Hoss light, a 4-foot Hoss grow light. These look good. I don't know about the curling of the leaves. I think I've been watering them too much. But I've backed off on the water. I actually turned the water off or let the water out. I'm watering from underneath. They're all in trays. The tomatoes are in trays too. So I like to water, fill up the tray or put water in the tray and let it water from underneath. But they look good. I've got these over here are seeded. They've got seeds. These are seedless. Now I had some seedless that just did not germinate well, and that's to be expected because they're just really hard to do. I think I had 1, 2, 3 out of 10 of one of the varieties of seedless that germinated. One of them is a tailgate, and I'll have to go look and see what the other one is. With the lights off of them, they look a lot greener than they do with the light on them, with that red and blue light on them. They look good. They just, that gum, I think they need to be in the ground. These seeded ones are 4 or 5 inches tall. So I don't know whether I planted those a little early. I kind of thought I was late planting those too, but apparently not. But they look good. These look good. The tomatoes look especially good. Plugs look good. The tomatoes I grew from seed look good. But, I'm just happy with everything I get from Hoss. Not just the fact that they're my sponsor and they send me product for review, but also the fact that gum, it really does a good job. The seeds come up well. I had a little problem with one variety of seedless watermelons, but they are hard to start. They're just hard to get up and going. Anyway, if you hadn't got your seeds yet, if you're in the north, you're okay, maybe, probably. If you're in the south, you got to look at the plugs. And they look good. They've also got pepper plugs. I think they got the Hossinator jalapeno. And gosh, I don't know. I forget. 2 or 3 different kinds of pepper plugs. They've got a couple of different kinds of tomato plugs. And they might even have something besides Hossinator and Red Snapper. I'm just really don't remember. I'm not at the website. I'm out in the barn. So I've been spraying these. I've been putting a little bit of 20-20-20. Once they showed the first true leaves, which is a long time ago, I started putting just a dab, about a half strength 20-20-20 in the tray, let them wick that up and use that as water. And I've also got a pinch of 20-20-20 in this spray bottle, and I've just been spraying them with that. So I think that's perked them up too. I ought to give them just a touch of micro boost because I really like the micro boost and what it does for plants. But happy with it. Everything looks good. I'm just tickled to death. Going to have some good tomatoes, going to have some good peppers. And again, if you hadn't started yours yet, boy, you need to get busy. You need to start. So I hope that helps you. Just in case you were curious about the plugs, what they look like, they are shipping now, and they ship well. They ship real well. I need to get those in pots and put them under these lights right now. So we're gone. We'll see you next time.